Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sama. So in today's video is another video that I'm going to be reading to you guys, something that is on the news, and as always I let you know where I'm reading from so you can go read it for yourself. This is from Pulse, Nigeria, and it says woman collapses and dies on 10th day of 14-day fasting to get back husband who left her 7 years ago. According to reports, the Nigerian woman identified as Joy Owoyele was praying to God for her husband who has abandoned her for the past 7 years to return to her. She had sought spiritual help at the Christ Apostolic Church Orioke Bogumi aka Ajakpelebe Mountain, located in Pipeline Road, Isheri, Olofin. Punch Metro reported that the church directed the now deceased to embark on 14-day fasting in the Isheri, Olofin area of Lagos State. However, just about 4 days to the end of the fasting and prayer, she collapsed unexpectedly after the morning prayers inside the church. Resident pastor of the Christ Apostolic Church, Alfred Sunday, in narrating how the said incident occurred, said Owoyele lost consciousness during the spiritual exercise and was rushed to the Igondo General Hospital for treatment, but unfortunately she did not survive. She came for prayers and nothing more. Before the day of the incident, we held a vigil and she was fine. Her fasting was supposed to be for 14 days, but the incident happened on the 10th day. God is my witness. There is nothing hidden here. Her daughter, Oluwatishe, was also with her in the church during the spiritual exercise, and they always slept together. The incident happened around 7 a.m. I was praying on the altar when one of the church members informed me that she had passed out. When I moved closer to assess her, I observed that she could not stand up, and when I called her name, she answered faintly. We had to rush her to the Ngondo General Hospital for treatment, but she died, Pastor Sunday said, as quoted by Punch Metro. The incident was reported to the police, and the pastor and other officials were detained but were later released. When I reported the incident, the police took my statement and that of victim's daughter. But the general overseer and I were detained for 3 days, and the police also visited the church to conduct an investigation. But the family insisted on not pressing any charge. And after the police investigation, we were released. I met with the woman's family immediately after the incident, and they accepted what happened as faith. During the spiritual exercise, she was fasting and praying and usually broke her fast with honey and water. But on the 10th day, she became very weak, and we had to rush her to the hospital to save her, but she died. After the incident, we insisted that anyone embarking on fasting and prayer in the church must break with pap instead of honey and water that was usually used. Anyone who refuses won't be allowed to embark on the spiritual exercise in the church. Police said the death of the woman was unnatural, so investigations are still ongoing, although the suspects have been released. So I saw that and I wanted to share it because, like I always say, these stories are for us to discuss and learn, and I speak my opinion, and you're all free to, chip in, leave your opinions in the comment section below. The people I have issues with are people that comment and they curse you out and everything, but they don't even leave their own opinions. Like, I'm going to speak my opinion on this topic, but this kind of people will be like, you're breaking up marriages, you're this, that, and da. They will not leave their own opinion as to the solution to problems like this. Let them tell me that this woman's death was necessary, because that is what I want to understand. If people want to leave comment, at least leave your opinion about the topic. It's not coming here and cursing people out. Nobody's going to learn from your comments, and I block because there's no point. Because if your unnecessary comment, I don't want unnecessary comment occupying the comment section where there's nothing anybody can learn from it. If you have your opinion, leave it in the comment section below. It's my own I'm about to state, right? First off, let me say, at least the church tried. They took her to the hospital when she collapsed, because some people would have started praying on top of her. At least they rushed her to hospital straight away, from what these people explained. Another thing that I have to praise them for is the fact that they decided to change their strategy. They've decided to put a bit of a preventative measure in place, because they said she was breaking with honey and water, but they said they're going to insist that you break with with a pap ogi akamu. They decided they're going to insist that you must break it this way or you will not join in the fasting. Okay, at least they're trying to put some preventative measures in place. The area I want to talk about is this. I personally, right, I'm going to be honest, a man leaves me, I will not start fasting because of him. I won't do it. It's my opinion I'm speaking. I will not fast for a man that left me. Sorry. I will not fast for a man that left me. If my husband is sick in hospital and I'm even fasting for his healing, that's another story. Not the man that left me. I will not be fasting. They never born the man. They never born the man that because of him, I'll be fasting, depriving myself of food because of a man. They never born that man. You sure they never born the man who born the man that will make me be fasting because he left me. They've not even born the man that 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 will make me to be fasting because he left me. He already made his choice to leave you. He already made his choice. This is the area me I'm coming from. What is causing this kind of thing where it's not today we hear things like this. A woman this, a woman that. Why is it a woman's job to always save a marriage? Why? Until we begin to teach our men and women that to save a marriage take two people, things like this will continue to happen. 7 years ago, he left her. She's fasting and praying. I'm not saying don't pray. God answers prayers. Let's be honest. But what about stepping forward with your life? Her daughter was there when she died. Her daughter knows what her mother was fasting for. She knows why her mother died. Now, this woman is gone. How is she going to get the man back now? This is a question for those kind of people that will come and tell me that whatever. Tell me now that she has died from fasting because of a man. How is she going to get the man now? In the grave? In the name of we want to go to heaven, we want to go to heaven. Doesn't mean you should be living in hell on earth already. No. You see, another area is the area of stigmatization. They didn't say anything about the man. But I won't be surprised if that man has already remarried himself and moved on. Because we come from a society where women get stigmatized for broken marriages. Whether not them walk away or the man that walked away, our women get stigmatized. But the men walk away and for them is a clean slate. I made a video where I was talking about Tonto Dike. A lot of us may not be fans of Tonto Dike, but let's be honest. Tonto Dike has been divorced once. Okay? Once. Some people have dragged her on social media. She could not save her marriage. They've said all sorts of things about her. Okay? But do you know that her husband, this is his third marriage. Tonto Dike has been married once. Her husband is married 3 times. A lot of people don't know that. Because nobody talks about it. We come from a society where the men are spotless. No matter how they walked away from a marriage. Whether they walked away or the woman walked away. The men are always spotless. A woman that has been abandoned. The topic for another day. I don't know what broke their marriage or whatever. My topic is about the idea of women thinking they have to suffer because of a man. It doesn't have to be like that. You know all those comments, God hates divorce. That's what Bible talk. God hates divorce. Yes, the Bible said so. But guess what? Like I said in one of my videos, divorce is not the only thing God hates. So God hates to see you suffer. Did you know that? But another thing, some people make it look like divorce is the worst thing in the world. God hates lies. God hates murder. There are so many things God hates. But when they say God hates divorce, you will think it's the only thing God hates. There are a lot of things happening in our world that God hates. Okay? Now tell me how the family said is faith. That may be the way how they want to console themselves. But I do not know why I find it hard to believe that it's a good thing that that little girl, the daughter, has lost her mother. We don't know if she has more children. Has lost her mother. There is no way that is not something joyful to hear. That is not something joyful to hear. Our mentalities need to change. And I want to say again, I've told women, you see, society cannot oppress women without women. The women that laugh at each other and be like, oh, you don't know she's a divorcee. It's women. The people that will say she couldn't save her marriage is mostly women. We are the ones that do it the most to each other. We need to change. Another area I want to address. Recently, I was thinking about this. We as women believe that women have to suffer in marriage, being beaten up, being, oppressed. The man is a womanizer. All those stuff they go through. They be like, oh, we're suffering for your children. You're doing it for your children. But let's think about it. Are you suffering for your children to have a better life? But what kind of better life would they have if you get killed in your marriage? Think about it. What kind of a better life will the children have if their mother died because she's fasting to bring her husband back? What kind of a better life is that? Let's think about these things. Another thing we have to realize, in the name of let's suffer for marriage, let's suffer for our children. At the end of the day, we're raising the next generation of daughters that will grow up and suffer too, because we have not taught them that thing called self-worth. This generation of women suffering is a result of our mothers suffering, that they suffer for their marriage. Let me ask this question. What is the point of your suffering if at the end of the day you suffer because you want your children to have a better life? In the process, you're teaching your daughters to tolerate husband beating you, husband sleeping around and maybe bring STDs that may end your life. A lot of these oppressions, and you say you're doing it, for your children so that they can have a better life. What better life will they get if your daughters then grow up and think that it's okay for a man to beat them? What better life have you brought for your children? Think about these things. Or because most of the time it's the daughters that learn these things from their mothers. This generation is as a result of the generations past. We have to realize, I'm telling you guys, this truth came to me recently. Just last week. I started thinking about that. What ended up happening? Women say they are suffering for their children so that children can have a better life. But that's not what is happening. People are suffering for their daughters, especially, to grow up and suffer like they suffered. So what better life then are your daughters getting from your suffering? Did your suffering then actually earn your children a better life? If you died in a marriage, what better life then did you get for your children? This is the area I speak about. Before you come and leave a comment to curse me out, make sure you have an opinion. If you don't have an opinion, I delete it. There's no point. Because if I delete it, so that at least those that have opinions, that people can actually rub minds and we can learn from each other. There's no point. So if you think that this woman's death is the right way to go about it, you leave it in the comment section and leave it at that. See that woman. If that woman, when her husband left her, she decided to maybe, let's say, go back to college or go back to school, get an education and get a job or establish a business and became successful, the stigma that would follow her, yeah, look at her. That is the thing. But she will be a better mother to her children. That way she can actually prevent her children from suffering. Are you listening to what I'm saying? But when the husband lived 7 years, he left her. But when the husband leaves her, and then she begins to live like a widow, and begin to walk like pity, begin to, live a sad life. That is what society wants. Who is suffering? Her and her children. We have to realize the consequences of this mentality and stigmatization of women. Children suffer for it. And this is why it needs to end. It needs to end. I'm not saying don't fast and pray for a man, it's your choice. I'm saying I will not do it. I am telling you that I will not do it. A man that left me, I will not fast. Me that even like food too much, that will be fasting because of man. Sorry, no, I won't do it. That one that is living like a widow, the one that is living like a widow, that is the one the people will call virtuous woman. And I will say it again, in the name of because you want to go to heaven, does not mean you should live in hell on earth. A lot of women are so afraid of going to hell that they're already living in hell on earth. Christianity does not have to be like that. I remember one time somebody was giving me advice and I said to the person, I said, look, the Bible said that if our Heavenly Father knows how to do good things for us, how much more our Heavenly Father? I said, I don't want to believe that it's God's plan. There are some sufferings we go through on earth that we know that our own earthly father, ordinary carnal man, will not leave us in such a suffering. How much more our Heavenly Father? Think about it. On top of she's fasting, she now did night vigil the night before, and then it's from what I'm understanding, it seems that they were sleeping in the church because of a human being. When did we get to the point where a human being like this, we say that this other human being, I made a video where I was explaining it, that this other human being is the most important thing for her existence. Another human being like you is so essential for your existence. Without a man, I keep telling people, don't forget we came by ourselves. Even twins, one they come out before the other one. Twins don't die at the same time. Why should you waste your life because of another person? I'm not coming here to say marriage breakup is a beautiful thing. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, that sometimes you realize that some things are not within your control. Accept some things and say, there was nothing I could have done. If you have worked hard in your marriage, when I say, if you were a good wife, you know that you've done everything a woman should do in her marriage, and a man decides to walk away. Don't kill yourself over that. Don't waste your life over that. Live a life, a fulfilled life. Let's stop teaching our daughters not to value themselves. Some people will see it as pride and arrogance. That's not what it is. It's called self-worth, self-respect. Remember, there was a time that man was not in your life. So because you married the man, and this is why our women will continue to suffer. How do you decide that because of this person, your life is no longer worth living? Because of a man, your existence is of no use anymore. Because of this man, you will not eat food. Because of a human being like you. And the thing is this, now that she's dead now, how is she going to get a man? How? It's her children that are going to suffer. Ordinary human being like you. You waste so much of your existence because of an ordinary human being. We need to help our women. And it is our mentality and stigmatization. That is one big part. Let's stop stigmatizing women. And because our women have been brainwashed for so long, that is why some men do these things. Because they know that if they start afresh, no stigma for them, nothing. It's she that's going to suffer. They don't look, a lot of them don't look back. And then this is leaving our women to suffer. Generations and generations are coming into this world and suffering like our mothers suffered. Let's break this chain. Let's break the chain. Let it end with this generation. Listen to this. Let me tell you, marriage is a beautiful thing. But you have to realize when some things are out of your control. Don't waste your life because of anybody. It takes two for marriage to work. You want to make a marriage work and the man does not want to make it work. There's nothing you can do. There is nothing you can do. It broke my heart when I read that her daughter was there when this happened. Imagine the trauma this girl will go through. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Wouldn't it have been better if she moved on with her life, progressed with her life, and looked after her children? That was really what broke my heart. My main point in this video, let's teach our daughters better. A lot of women are enduring so much because of stigmatization, because of our mentality, and this thing that, oh, you must save your marriage, you must save your marriage. That's why some women endure beating, they endure all the violence, endure cheating, endure abandonment, endure so much in the name of, honestly, most of the time it's because of society. I'm speaking to, especially to us women. We are our worst enemies. Men will not oppress women without the help of women. We have to stop raising a society where the male children can have a life and female children can't. We have to stop it. Everybody deserves to be fulfilled, both our male children and our female children. Save your marriage does not mean you should not save yourself. Love your husband does not mean you should hate yourself. Even the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. Do you know what that means? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That means you already love yourself. Are you understanding what about? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. But so women actually abandon themselves. They don't save themselves. Save yourself from mental torture. They don't save themselves from violence. They don't save themselves from anything at all in the name of saving their marriage. Remember, you came to this world alone and you will be living alone. It is your life at the end of the day and you only have one life. I made a video where I said there is no special place in heaven for women that died for their marriage. I've not seen that in the Bible. If you've seen, please show us. Where they said there's a special place in heaven for women that died for their marriage. What is the point of suffering for your children if you're going to be raising daughters that will grow up and suffer like you suffered? What is the point? Your suffering is a waste because you're raising the next generation of girls to come and suffer like you suffered. Marriage is a beautiful thing. I'm not saying divorce is a good thing. At the end of the day, my message is this: life is precious. Don't waste your life. Don't waste your life because of someone that does not value you, that chose to walk away. We don't even know what their story was, what broke their marriage. We don't know that. But I'm still saying at the end of the day, life is precious. You have to ask yourself, is it worth it for you to waste your life because of someone else? I'm not saying don't love your husbands. Love yourself too. I'm not saying don't save your marriage. Save yourself too. So I saw that story and I feel like it's very sad. It's a very sad story. What's going to happen to her children now? What's going to happen to her children she left behind? You know, that is a very heartbreaking story. It is a very heartbreaking story. And I'm praying that our mentality will begin to change. And if you take anything out of this video, what I want you to take is this: do not be part of those that stigmatize women that have been abandoned by a man. Do not be too quick to stigmatize women that their marriage is ended because you do not know what they walked away from. Let's stop this mentality of letting the men go scot-free and our women suffer and stigmatized because of a failed marriage. At the end of the day, every human being deserves to be happy and every human being deserves to be fulfilled. I saw that story and I wanted to come here and quickly share with you guys. As always, feel free to leave your own opinions in the comment section below. And with that, that, I'm just gonna say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye.